beautiful souls. This is a message for divine feminine energies and for the divine feminines in general. If you are a woman, feminine, we all embody both masculine and feminine energies, the yin and the yang. So you could be a man watching this, right? Maybe you're connected to a soulmate or a twin flame that, you know, reignited or ignited your spiritual awakening. And maybe you've been doing healing work, etc., right? So either or doesn't matter, okay? But this message is for the divine feminine collective. And this is a message from Lilith, goddess Lilith, who helps us to face our deepest, darkest parts of self, known as our shadow, right? Now, the shadow is a beautiful thing. It's where we hold some of our biggest gifts and powers and healing, right? But many divine feminines, 111, have been conditioned to suppress the shadow woman, the shadow feminine, the shadow aspects. Scorpio season is a time of the shadow, right? Well, let's just say death, rebirth, right? Where there's death, there must be life. Where there's endings, there must be beginnings. Many of the divine feminines have been through a very big transformational season, portal, if you will, right? But it's been a season of change. And this is not a season that, well, for some of you guys, maybe it has only lasted a season. Maybe it started through the summer and now, you know, we're in the fall energies, and maybe you're experiencing some different shifts and changes, right? But what I'm feeling and getting is that divine feminines out there, you have been going through seasons. Okay, I'm going to say at least several years, a few years, a couple years for most of you guys tuning in, or longer. You've been in a sacred space of shadow work, diving deep, remembering yourself. And the message here is, beloved sisters or brothers, but I do have predominantly, like, I have a lot of women on the channel, let's say that, right? But I also have a lot of masculine energy as well. This has been a time of celibacy. This has been a time of being single, where maybe you have missed companionship. Maybe you have missed that happiness that you feel and comfort from a partner, the intimacy, the, you know, just having someone there with you in partnership. Now, that is very normal. We are physical beings having a human experience. I mean, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So we are also physical beings, right? We've known many painful endings. We've had to release a lot of people that were emotionally manipulative, that were controlling, or that were dodgy and playing games. Goddess Lilith, along with Kali Ma, and many other of your spiritual guides, ascended masters, archangels, ancestors, and so on and so forth, they've been helping you through this time of great, what may have felt like peril, where maybe you felt like giving up and something inside of you said, keep going. There is great love out there for you. There is a divine counterpart coming in for you. But first you must get in touch with these deepest, darkest parts of yourself. There is a reemergence happening. And when the Kundalini reawakens and the divine feminine power resurfaces, reemerges, our creativity, our intuitive nature, psychic ability, passion, sensuality that we've yet to embody or discover or be in touch with, our sacred sexuality and sensuality. As we go through these processes, and there's not just one, there could be many. But for a lot of you guys, you've been through a very powerful time of death and rebirth, of resurgence, reemergence, remembrance, restoration. But Lilith's call here is many divine feminine energies out there. Yes, we've done shadow work, but for some, there's a call to dive deeper. Shadow work doesn't have to be some crazy, like all, spiritual, you're seeing all these apparitions and you're releasing and seeing stuff leave your body. There could be moments like that, absolutely. But shadow work could be as simple as, I impulsively clean all the time because I'm avoiding blank. What is it? I impulsively shop all the time because I'm afraid to face blank, or because of this. It's about peeling back the layers and getting in touch with the shadow self, the shadow woman who feels neglected, sad, powerless in a lot of ways. And the shadow woman, the shadow feminine, hides in the subconscious. It's not even hiding. It's where we put her, okay? Or him, right? It's an energy, period. We push it down, we push it down, we push it down, because women, okay, and society in general, it is looked down upon, frowned upon to be emotional. It's frowned upon to be in touch, to show anger. We've been conditioned to be these docile creatures with no opinion, no power in many, many ways. How many of you guys out there have felt like that with someone in your life, whether it be a family member, a lover, a friend, a teacher? I felt that many times, where my power was snuffed from me because of other people, right? Their projections and their boxed shape thinking of what I should be, right? This is the time where that ends. This is the time of the feminine rising, the reemergence. But we need to face all parts of ourselves, the light and the dark. Do you have moments where you feel, when we don't face the shadow of that part of ourselves and embrace her and say, I will work with you. As you are me, we are one. I've been trying to live in the light, but there's this whole other side of me that is the darkness, that is the shadow, that has been suppressed for far too long, and it's time to connect with it, to release what needs to go, to heal what needs to go. When the dark shadow feminine is not being addressed, we live oftentimes in fearful states of consciousness, separation, dualistic living, thinking. Oftentimes women and even men who are not facing these shadow parts of self, the inner feminine or the wounded feminine, it creates separation. You start comparing yourself with others, comparing your looks with others, your life with others. You become jealous, envious, competitive. You look at people online, or celebrities, or some, Instagrammer who's got 2 million followers, and seems to have the perfect life. And you go, I want that. And you're comparing. Because at the same time you're going, I want that, it's not here. So it's time to get raw and real with ourselves. And this is one big initiation that's going to get you to those levels. Now, for many of you guys, you've been doing the shadow work, but for a lot of you, this is a call to action, or you think you've done it. But see, like I said, the shadow woman lives in the subconscious mind. So you may not even realize it until you sit down to write that first sentence. I isolate myself. Like I said, compare myself. I get jealous when I see other people who are more successful than me. It brings up envy or shame, or makes me feel like I can't get there. I can't do that. Compare, compare, compare. So it's time to heal these parts. So you're no longer doing that. So you can shine your brightest light, your biggest self. Embrace the shadow, embrace the rage, the anger, the envy. Okay, why do I get envious? Dig deeper, peel back another layer. Why do I feel the need to compete, right? Like take tarot readers, for instance, right? An example would be someone who is has a platform and, you know, or wants to start a platform, but they're going, you know, like, I don't know, I'm shaming, I'm belittling my power, my gifts, myself, my personality. I don't know if I could do what such and such does or what such and such does. I don't know if I have that in me. This often is these subconscious energies that create, you know, more stagnancy. It's a suppression of our highest selves. So let's see what comes out. Look at that, splitting the deck, the devil. You cannot make it up. Capricorn energy here. Diving deep and getting in touch with that devil energy within. The blocks that still hold us or bind us. Like I said, it's time to get real with our shadow, you see? And to bring forth healing and more balance and divine alchemy within. You see, the light and the shadow. You can't have light without dark, dark without light. The moon and the sun, the winter and the spring and summer, the fall, winter, spring, summer, right? We know that we have seasons of our life too. And while you've been in the season of being single, celibate, isolated, hermity, going within, feeling like, how come no one's coming in? How come, you know, I'm not being approached by people? Or how come, you know, I haven't fallen in love yet? Or how come this hasn't happened or that hasn't happened? Or I thought I'd have a family by now. Or I thought I'd be, you know, my business would be bigger than it would be, you know? I'm not saying this is the reason, but for many of you guys, right, it's these subconscious blocks, fears that reside within the shadow aspect of yourself. So time to get real and raw, okay? To kick this devil's little ass, but also at the same time and not judging it, embracing it. Don't judge yourself because you get jealous. Don't judge yourself. I am a perfect being and I have had many traumas, many past lives. I am, you know, there's a lot of that like PTSD from our trauma. Okay, that's okay. Don't judge yourself. Okay, but the more that we embrace it, the more that we face it, that's powerful shadow work in its own. That very first sentence is all you really, truly need. You can go deeper, 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 but confront all these aspects of yourself and be very brutally honest with yourself. Okay, we all have those moments, you know, where, and the more that we heal and clear and connect and all the things, right, those are gonna fade away. Those will be less and less and less because we're more whole, right? Time to be honest. Create justice, balance. Be authoritative. Be the leader that you wish you had. It's time to take action in your truth. Shadow work. Can't make it up. Out of all the cards that could have come out here. Okay, so who this is for, you'll know who this is for, you know, and I'm pretty sure that most of you guys tuning in will resonate. There's not anyone here that's an ascended master. There's not anyone here who's healed all their past lives and, you know, they're whole in one, all, you know, just after a couple years of shadow work and being single. That is not the case. None of us here are that person. We all have these tendencies where, and what happens is when we suppress that shadow energy, and people are very much in that shadow, you can tell because people who are very much in that, where they've suppressed a lot of their shadow woman or their shadow feminine, like I said, they hold grudges. They compare themselves to others. They compete. They are jealous, envious, and they come from a state of judging others, you know. It's what they're not facing within themselves. They oftentimes project outwardly to people, onto other people, okay? So you can tell, you know, I've been seeing it a ton in the spiritual community. A lot of people over the past like couple years, 6 months, even the past just several months, I've seen lots of people in the spiritual community who have fallen back into the shadow aspects of self, the ego-driven ways of living, being, because they have yet to fully connect with this, okay? And this resurfaces because there's cords, there's attachments here that need to be released or cut out or healed, or, you know, and like I said, it's okay. If you're angry, I'm angry because blank. Part of myself that, these are the parts of yourself that you would never want to admit to anyone, not your dearest friend, not your family, not, I mean, this is like, okay, that's what Lilith is. Lilith and Kali Ma are a heck of a dynamic duo if you want to do some really deep diving into your shadow aspects. But Lilith, she connects deeply with that, okay? So does Kali, but Lilith is who came through on my walk this morning with big messages of many feminines are still avoiding their deepest parts of self in the shadow subconscious, in whatever you want to call it. They want to be all love and light all the time, but they have this whole other side to them. Like I said, where much of their power and truest selves and essence is. You've been protected. Okay, this is a very sacred time when your Kundalini rises, when you come back into, you know, sacredness with self. Okay, and I think for a lot of you guys, you've been doing shadow work, but I think for a lot of us out there, right, we've been more connecting with the crown, and yes, we've been integrating and doing work, and we do grounding and we do all these things, right? But this is not a one and done thing. This is something that's continuously, especially right now, we have solar storms, we're getting blasted with light codes, massive crystalline downloads, activations that are reigniting some of our deepest aspects of self. I will be doing a lot of messages on these, probably short messages, like little ancestor, angel messages, past life messages, you know, things like that, 3 to 5 minutes long, maybe. Because there's a lot coming through. There's a lot being activated. But it tends to be like we awaken and we want to just like live in the light. And then we feel shame around anger. We feel shame and we start judging ourselves like, oh, this isn't love and light. Bullshit. Bullshit, okay? We have goddesses that literally represent those aspects of ourselves. Eroticism, sexuality. We create worlds with that. Okay? But we need to see, it's almost like we need to dive deep into those aspects more. Okay? One, because for some, there's like blockages around manifestations, because it's like we're calling this into ourselves, but deep down in the shadow woman or the shadow feminine or whatever you want to call it, right? We don't feel worthy. Or we want to call this in, but we don't trust our gifts enough. Or we want to call this in, but we've been so suppressed by patriarchal rule that we're afraid to be our true authentic selves and to radiate our true divine power because we have been killed for it. We have been tortured for it. Dive deep. Lilith invites you, and Kali Ma invites you. These seasons and cycles where we do have that energy of being alone, we have to be alone. We have to be alone. We cannot be with another doing our deepest, darkest healing work. It's a very personal experience, which is why we've been single, which is why we've been alone. The whole point is, you know, and I stand by that. You know, you're gonna have moments where you crave physical touch, where you desire a partner there with you. But this is also the breaking of old patterns and cycles where you feel like I'm not whole and complete, or I can't truly be happy unless I have someone here showing me that. You have to come back to self. I'm happy with being alone. I'm good being alone. In fact, a lot of you probably prefer it, or you have. But many feminines, which is why this message is coming through the way that it is right now, We're in a very powerful portal, the 1111 portal. We're in Scorpio season right now, which it's Plutonian energy. It's the underworld, right? Going down to the darkness, down to the depths of that shadow aspect, and pulling up and honoring, healing, befriending these parts of self that you wouldn't want anyone, not even your best friend, like I said, to know about you. I numb myself. I overeat, or I indulge in ice cream and sweets at night because I'm feeling some kind of void. Or I work out all the time at the gym. That's an addiction too. People go to the gym 3-4 times a day. That's an addiction. They're trying to create dopamine. They're trying to keep themselves busy. They're go, go, go. Usually people like that, they can't slow down. They become addicted to that. Addicted to running, addicted to physical, exercise. And they think, oh, well, this is healthy. It's exercise. No, it's still some kind of Band-Aid. And yes, I'm not saying exercise is not healthy. You guys understand what I mean by that. Anything can become codependent, where we're numbing ourselves, trying to fill a void. Drinking, smoking weed. And I'm not saying everything in moderation. We have temperance right here. Am I saying it's bad to drink? No. Am I saying it's bad to smoke pot? No. But what I am saying is everything in moderation, right? Women not so much do this, but some of them do. But like men and sex, they will sleep with anything. They will go after anything. They will, because they're trying to fill a void. I don't care how confident they seem, and that there's gaping wounds in the heart space or other places where they're trying to fill a void. But you can't. It's not sustainable until you do the actual shadow work. You can drink till you're blue in the face, right? But alcohol is not going to solve the deepest problems within. In fact, after a time, people start to see that it's actually adding to that shadow. It's adding to that darkness, right? And then it becomes even more overwhelming for a lot of people. And then they will indulge more, right? Or alcohol isn't enough, and then they need other substances all mixed with it, right? So my point is, and I'm not saying that's you guys, or, I know you guys will resonate, okay? Again, none of us are perfect beings here, right? So don't shame yourself. That's the biggest thing. Don't shame yourself because of your shadow, okay? Embrace it. Love her. Love her. I honor you. I know you've been suppressed for so long. I know you're angry. I'm angry, right? I know that's where I push all of it. I push my rage, my anger, my extreme depression, my PTSD stuff, my, whatever else it is, right? I try to keep her hidden away. It's you guys ever seen that movie The Mask with Leonardo DiCaprio, where he has like the twin brother, but they kept him in the mask locked up, okay? And then they actually end up pulling him out to like be the king or whatever. Anyways, that's what I'm getting. It's like the shadow aspect is the one that had the mask put on, and your other side of self has been the one operating in life and, living and being around people and social, and you know what I mean? And it's time to bring her out. It's time to take off that mask, bring her out, that beautiful shadow woman, that shadow feminine aspect of self, and save her from drowning. There are great, big, huge timelines coming in. Timelines with massive love and partnership. Okay, I'm hearing it's just about to hit. So for some of you guys, this is important because you really need to clear some shadow stuff before this can come in. Again, that's why we've been single. That's why we've been celibate. That's why we've been in separation. And, I'm sure some of you guys out there, you've gone out on dates, you've dated, I know I have, been with, but it's, you can't, no one can reach you on your level. That's why you're single, because you're rising in vibration, you're healing, you're doing the work in so many ways, right? And other people are not equivalent to you on that level. And you feel that, you know that. And it's not an energy of like, oh, I'm better than you. You're not on my level. That would be the shadow woman being projected out onto somebody. we're on two different radio frequencies. We're two different vibrations. I wish I could, but I just, something within me that just, I can't. Okay? Know that you are being moved forward. Okay? Spirit has your back here. It's time to be brave with this red cape, scarf energy, I mean. We have to be the ones. Spirit is guiding us, leading us, showing us so many signs, ways, whatever, right? But we have to be the ones to go, okay, I'm ready to move forward to the calmer waters. And I know that I'm truly deserving of it, because so many people will easily say words. I know I'm deserving. I know self-love, self-worth. I love myself wholly and fully. And I think a lot of people do, but I love myself in much higher capacity than I used to just a couple years ago, a year ago, 6 months ago. But I know for me, I have these moments. I have shadow work I got to do too. That's why she came to me this morning, because oftentimes what I need to share, and like I said before, I can discern. If Lilith comes through to me on a walk and she just has messages for me and me alone, and it's just what I need to receive and what I need to, you know, be shown in that moment, I know it's for me and me alone. But if she comes through and she's like, this is for you and you need to share it with the collective, I know that too. This was that. It was you, it's for you, but you also need to share it with the collective. You know? You know, that wounded shadow feminine energy, like, you know, that can make, like, if, you know, because if someone's very gossipy, if they gossip about like other women behind their back, or they gossip about their friends behind, you know, it's that energy. It's like very gossipy, and that's not good karma at all, you know, or talking bad about someone else or other people, or projecting your own insecurities out on another situation, you know. I see it happen all the time. I've had to unfollow a lot of readers, spiritual people, you know, that, yeah, I just, we have to get to completion, and we're ready for new beginnings, but to close out some cycles here or some other things, there's some shadow work. Okay, and then you have the Two of Swords. Blocked, crossroads. There's something here about the darkness, the dark. Look at her shirt, her blindfolds, the black crows. Okay, it's all dark. It's the shadow. It's the shadow. Okay, so for some of you guys, your own inner shadow energy is calling out to you. Work with Lilith, work with Kali Ma. It'll help you clear the crossroad energy. It'll help you clear the blockages. Okay, because this is subconscious. This is in the mind. This is deep down in subconscious. This is chitter chatter. This is, I'm still blinded to certain things. I'm still not seeing certain things that I need to release, that I need to heal. Brings forth these new beginnings. But in order, we have to let some stuff go here. We have to let some stuff go here to bring forth some kind of completion, forward movement, and new beginnings. Okay, so, you know, this isn't going to be for every single person, but like I said, if this video found you, or you found this video, even if you're here on the channel regularly and you were called to this video, you know, Lilith is reaching out to you. Lilith is connecting to you. And like I said, man or woman, but this is definitely about the inner sacred feminine energy that is the shadow feminine, the shadow woman within, okay? So that's what I have for you guys. Let me go ahead and get an oracle card before we go. Let's see. I'll use this one right. Okay. If you guys want to book a reading with me, I offer a few different kinds. It's all in the description box. I would love to connect with you guys. So if you ever feel called, a lot of powerful energy happening right now. This is a powerful month, you know. And you know, we are in this manifestation portal, the 1111 portal, right? So make sure that you are focusing. Don't focus on what you don't have. Focus on what you desire. Instead of, I'm single, I'm alone, you know, I'm tired of being alone, you know, I've been doing my work, you know. Put those thought vibrations not to that, because all you're telling the universe is, I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm alone. And the universe is going, they're alone, they're alone, they're alone. Give them more energy and situations and circumstances where it keeps them alone, alone, alone. Right? I'm broke. Give them more situations to keep them broke. We have to be intentional with our words, and know that thoughts become things, words become things, right? Writing things out becomes things. Words are spells, right? My truest divine counterpart and truest love, I know that they are on their way to me right now. Or live it as if it's already here, right? I have divine companionship with me right now, and it feels so good. It feels so good. Thank you. It feels so good. I knew this was happening. I knew this was going to happen. Okay? And align to that. You know, you can't be calling in true love and sulking all the time. You know, that's two very different frequencies. There's a sulking, fear, depression energy, and then you're trying to attract in divine love, the highest energy of all, with a very low, dense vibrational energy. Doesn't make sense, does it? Or you're angry at your counterpart or whoever, you're angry because love hasn't happened. That's okay. Transmute it out. That's a part of the shadow. It's okay. Just don't project it out on other people. Honor that. Release it. Lilith, Kali Ma, help me release these parts of self. These subconscious blocks, these shadow, you know, everything. Help me connect with my shadow. Help me heal. Help me transmute these parts of self. Help me get, you know, to connect to my truest power within the darkness and depths and shadow aspects of myself. You know, Fiona and the unicorn, yeah. See, there's a lot of beautiful divine energy watching over you. There has been. I'm telling you guys, please, please, please do not take it. I know it's difficult, and that's okay to be angry at times and fearful at times and, you know, things like that. But like, don't carry that around with you on your shoulders. 10 of Wands energy, you know, don't carry that around with you. It's a sacred time when our Kundalini rises. It's a sacred time when we reawaken and when we go through, you know, these seasons of ascension and death and rebirth and, you know, and like I said, it's never a one and done. We go through this for a very long time until we heal it all, clear it all, right? Okay. You guys are looking mighty fine. There is a very ethereal, beautiful energy here around you where people are seeing you as exquisite, divine, unique, gifted. You're different. You vibrate differently. You feel differently. You seem different than other people. And even though we're all connected and all one, people are noticing your vibration. The gift of sacred sight. Okay, so sacred sight is needed here to connect, and you're being gifted with it. This also means sacred sight, not seeing with the eyes, seeing with the third eye, with the heart. You had to be alone. You had to be alone. This was a sacred season. Okay? Because for a lot of you guys, things are going to start really shifting and changing here when it comes to partnerships. The mermaid of immersion, complete commitment. I told you. This is complete commitment, though, to your soul work, to your shadow work, too. I don't want to avoid my shadow aspects anymore. I need to embrace them. And figure out what it is about those things that, you know, like I said, do you get, you know, could you be with someone right now and like, you know, someone else walks by, you're out having coffee with your person, and someone walks by and your masculine or whoever like turns their head and catches a shot of the ass as this like cute girl walks by. Because a divine feminine in her with that like jealousy and those possessive energies and all of that will probably freak out, probably not be able to, you know. And I get it, right? Like, you don't want your partner gawking at other people, but we're human beings and people are going to look. If you see someone good looking, you're going to look. I look at beautiful women all the time, and beautiful men when I see them, which is not as often as beautiful women, unfortunately. But, you know, there's no reason to, you know what I mean? But that's because I've healed these parts of myself, like, you know, and this is just an example. So, you know, but there's complete commitment entering your lives at this time. Okay. Master number 44. And then you have 29, which breaks down to master number 11. Okay. These could be ages as well, but this is a time of great, deep emotional immersion. You're going to be immersed into, you know, there's a shift of like fortune and community and, you know, all these things. So you've been fully immersed in these seasons of your life. And now there's a different kind of, you're going to be immersed into different looking seasons of your life. Okay. But it is a time to embrace whatever shadow aspects need to be embraced and worked with. Okay. See, a time to say goodbye. She has her little dragon with her. I love it. Transmutation, protection, fire. Something is about to end for now, okay? 13, karmic number, see? So it's about connecting to that, okay? And shadow doesn't mean karma necessarily, right? Although there can be some karmic traits that are affecting or in the shadow part. But for me, this is more about, like I said, like maybe writing a list or starting just your first sentence of like, I tend to overwork out, or, you know, why am I going to the gym 3-4 times a day? I tell myself it's because I want, you know, my body to be, you know, top notch and all these things, but realistically I could go to the gym once a day and achieve that. Why do I, you know, compare myself to others? Why do I look at a beautiful woman and feel inferior or not good enough? Or I wish I looked like her, or a handsome man, or whatever the case is, okay? I overly clean my house all the time, or, you know, why do I not clean my house at all? You know, or, you know, I don't know, it could be a million different things, right? I'm a workaholic. I just work. I work a lot because I want to support myself, but I work a lot. I overindulge in work because I'm avoiding, or I don't want to be sitting with myself and my thoughts, or it could be anything, right? So I love you guys so much. I have to get going, but I hope you enjoyed this message, and I just thank you all for being here. I am facilitating an 11/11 portal activation and quantum healing workshop, working with Isis and Mary Magdalene. Isis and Mary Magdalene also govern the shadow woman parts as well. Okay, but Lilith is like all about that, right? But they definitely help with those energies as well. But this quantum healing workshop is with Goddess Isis, Hathor, and Mary Magdalene. It's going to be very, very powerful. It's going to be a little, you know, it'll affect everyone a little differently, right? But if you want to read about that and what this entails and how to get your ticket and things like that, there are spaces still available. I will be sending out the Zoom links Friday afternoon, because the Zoom is on Saturday. It's recorded, but even if you can't make the live Zoom, that's okay. I will send you the recording. And because this is work done on a quantum level, right? It doesn't matter if it's recorded, live, it doesn't matter, right? Just like when I do a reading for my clients, you know. So I love you guys. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy this message. Let me know in the comments down below, you know, and even if you want to affirm things to yourself in the comments, feel welcome to do so. But if you don't feel like, you know, even though this is a safe space, if you don't feel like you want to do that, that's okay too, right? But I would love to connect with you guys. So thank you so much, and have a beautiful rest of your day. Mwah. Bye.